As a rum lover, daiquiris aside, one of my favourite cocktails is the Mai Tai. But I'm also a little bit partial to my fruity cocktails. I do love something that is a little bit fun. Now, in years past, fruity cocktails have often meant syrupy and sweet. But in this day and age, with all the ingredients we've got available to us, fruity cocktails can actually work very well. So if you love the Mai Tai, or equally you've never tried a Mai Tai, but you do love your fun and fruity flavours, then this cocktail recipe coming up is definitely one that you should try. So let's talk about the rums that I'm going to use for this. And I don't really think there's a right or wrong here. A lot of the long-time viewers will know I am very much Team Plantaray. They make cracking rums. I'm bringing out two of my flavours. The Mai Tai does really kind of lend itself towards like a Jamaican rum. So I've got the Plantaray Zymaca there. But then if you are lucky enough, and I'm not overly convinced we're going to be lucky enough to get this in the UK, I hope it becomes a thing. I really do, because this would be my all-star rum, probably for neat sipping and for cocktails. It's Mr. Fogg. It's equivalent of their Navy rum. It's been aged in open vats. Viewers that have been with me for quite a few years will have seen me tasting this straight out of the vat in France where it's been aged. I'm going to do a split base of these two. I'm going to do a 30ml, 1 ounce of each of the rums. So we'll start off with our Jamaican rum, and then we'll do 30ml of our Mr. Fogg, 55.7% ABV. Now, next up, I am going to use my ginger liqueur, King's Ginger. I've fallen in love again with this. Went off the boil a few years ago because I think the original recipe that they swapped up, their first iteration of the new recipe, was too citrus heavy. Now, I don't know whether they have reblended it again or whether it's just like the first batch was a bit too citrusy and the second and third batches are absolutely fine. I don't know, but now it's firmly on my radar. Really proper ginger heavy. So this is a straight swap for your, in my case, Pierre France dry orange curacao, but your orange liqueur of choice. And we just want 1/2 ounce, 15ml. Now my passion fruit is coming in the form of a Boiron. This is pretty much, I would say, the world leader, and it probably is the world leader. I can't comment on brands, you know, outside of the UK too much, but to my mind, there is no brand now that can compete with this for passion fruit puree. This is 100% passion fruit puree. We've all been in love with Funkin up until now. Funkin is a 90-10 product, 90% passion fruit, 10% sugar. It's the way they kind of pasteurize it. You will see when you open it, it's a bit darker because of the way it's processed, a little bit cooked. However, this stuff is flash pasteurization. The color of it is incredible. It's just 100% passion fruits in here. Chefs have been using Boiron in their pastry stuff for decades. It's always been a frozen product, but now us bartenders can get our hands on an ambient product. I'm going for 20ml. 20ml is about my sweet spot here for this. But look at the colour of that. That's just super vibrant. And while I'm here, I might as well stick on the old Boiron with the lime, because I've swapped over to Boiron lemon and lime juice now. We've got the lemon in there. Pretty much the same ratios of what you would do with a normal Mai Tai. I'm going for 30ml, 1 ounce of lime juice. Now I'm going to move on to my Orgeat syrup. Essentially kind of like an almond syrup, 10ml. The original recipe sort of calls for like 15ml of sweetness, so 7.5 of Orgeat, 7.5 of Demerara. I kind of still keep to that 15ml, but I go 10ml. I go like heavy, so 2/3 of that 15ml would be my Orgeat. And I really love, I have got a rich Demerara down there, but I've really got into agave syrups and nectars now as my sweeteners. They just add a fantastic layer of complexity without losing that sweetness that you just don't get from sugar. You don't need much at all. So we're just going for like a 5ml bar spoon. I would probably traditionally mix this, but we are going to shake it, all right? Now, glass of choice. This obviously was going into my Mai Tai glass that we've got done here in the UK. The first commercially available Mai Tai glass available in the UK, to my knowledge. Got a little bit of crushed ice in there. I'm just going to single strain, crown with more crushed ice. Then to garnish, lovely sprig of mint, and then a dried passion fruit from my friends at Frona. And then one last trick that I want to do as well. I've got my spritz caps out. I haven't used for quite a few months, actually, to be fair. And I just think these are a great way to add additional flavours, or in this case, aromas, finishes to a cocktail without adding the flavour to the drink. We can just do a couple of little spritzes on top, And already you now get that sort of cinnamony, tiki-ish aroma from the cocktail, but the flavour won't be in the drink as much. Now don't forget, if you do like this type of cocktail, I have a free PDF that you can download where I'll show you how to riff up 10 of my favourite cocktails. The link for that will be in the description below, and I'll also put it as the pinned comment for this video. So how does this taste and compare to an original Mai Tai? I absolutely adore this drink. It is far from sweet. First off, do we get the Mai Tai vibes from it? Yes. You get your rum, you get your citrus, and you 100% get that sort of almondy note coming back through there. And I have to say, the aromas of those aromatic bitters, just when you sip it, are just kind of fantastic. So kind of cling to the mint a little bit in the passion fruit garnish there. So you get those. But then because we're not using a passion fruit syrup or anything like that, we're using 100% passion fruit puree, it's got this tartness to it, but this richness because you've got the agave just to sort of balance it very, very slightly. It's just a different layer. And the finish is not over the top at all. The finish is this passion fruit and gingery kindness. And I think those two flavour combos work really, really, really well together. Now, just looking around me, behind me, at the back bar, what are the products? Quite ginger. It's just really nice there. What are the products I've got and how could you change this up even more? Obviously, the passion fruit puree, you could swap out to mango. I think mango would be very, very good in here. But my initial thought straight away was I still want that Mr. Fog. And I know most of you outside of the UK, a lot of you will be able to get it. But inside the UK, most of you will not be able to get hold of that. So that would probably be the swap. However, if I had my way, that would be the rum that I would keep. And I would swap out the Jamaican rum for the Plantaray coconut, the cut and dry. I think the coconut layers in there would be amazing with passion fruit. Passion fruit and coconut works really well together as well. And don't forget, that's not a sweet, you know, Coco Canu style of coconut rum. That is very much aged rum at the base of it with just subtle coconutty chocolate flavours coming out there. And the chocolate is going to work really well with passion fruit as well. But on that note, I want to hear from you guys. How would you take what I've done, for example, the passion fruit and ginger riff on the Mai Tai? How would you change that up slightly? And don't forget, as I say, if you do like this type of video, this is what my channel is all about, taking classic cocktail recipes that you know and putting fun, modern day riffs on them with a tropical kind of theme. I wouldn't say tiki, tropical. So if that sounds like more content that you want to watch, do hit that subscribe button. The next cocktail I'm going to attack in this series is the Blue Hawaii. Not Hawaiian, Blue Hawaii. That'll be coming up in the very next video. Don't forget to grab a copy of my ebook if you haven't done so already, and I'll see you next time.